Hello, Rainey.
Hi, Lolly. How's it going?
Well, I'm a little unsure about today.
Oh, I know. I've been hearing about this for weeks, guys.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, friends. As most of you know, Furzy, or Mark, my husband, he edits the podcast. And for weeks, maybe even months, our guy Mark has been requesting this song. He's been requesting this story, and I keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. But I thought, you know what? Furzy is as much a part of this podcast as I am and as Rainey is. We are the Three Musketeers.
That's right.
So today, Furzy Poo, my darling love, I dedicate this episode to you, you sick fuck.
I'm excited.
This is without a doubt the most horrific thing I've ever heard. It's so gory. It's so gruesome. You're just not going to believe it. I've had to turn my research off while eating because I felt like I was going to vomit.
Oh,
it is just absolutely insane. But I will say, if you're a little bit squeamish and you're not really sure if you can handle the gore, there is a silver lining to today's case. It's not as bad as you think. So I reckon you just come on in. Come for the journey. Maybe a little bit of vomit. I don't know. Let's jump right in, friends.
Sounds like a little ruthless Rainey's in the house.
This should be Halloween case, without a doubt.
All right, let's go.
On the 1st of December, 1961, in Essen, Germany, a young little boy named Armin Meiwes was born to mother Waltraud and father Gustav.
Wow, they sound like they're out of Beauty and the Beast.
There was a bit of an age gap between Armin's mum and dad. Waltraud was 39 and his papa was 20.
Sorry, what? 20?
This is in the 1960s.
Wow.
And Armin had two half-brothers. These guys were just trying to live a normal, happy family life back in the 60s in Germany.
20 years old and Mama Bear's 39.
Yes.
Toy boy.
Waltraud was a troubled woman, a little controlling, a little bolshy, a little crazy. And this really did cause some problems in the marriage. And at just 7 years old, Armin would be playing in the front yard, playing a little hide and seek with his neighbour, when all of a sudden he could hear some fighting, some yelling, some screaming coming from the house.
Ugh, Mum and Dad are at it again.
God damn.
Oh, wait.
Ugh, Mum and Dad are...
Wait, how do you do German?
I don't know. Guten Tag.
Scheiße! Mum and Dad are at it again.
Yeah, something like that.
And all of a sudden, Armin's dad comes storming out of the house. He slams the door behind him and he gets in his car and he would reverse down the driveway and he takes his car and he bolts it down the street, and Armin knows his dad is leaving for the last time. He runs down the road screaming, "Papa! Papa, stop! Come back!" But the car would get further and further away. And Armin's dad wouldn't even look back.
Gustav, you bastard.
You fucking
Yeah.
And poor Armin would be left in the clutches of his controlling and overbearing mother.
Awful.
Without a dad and with two half-brothers that would soon leave his side.
Poor Armand.
Poor Armand. But Dad, he was off to go and be with another woman, Rainey. Someone his own age. He was at this stage, mid-20s. He went and met another woman in her 20s and he didn't look back, literally.
I don't blame him. You know, he's just a kid.
And look, these two tried to get on with life. By 1977, Waltraud and her son Armin would move together to a little town called Worcestershire. Sorry, that just came out of me.
What? Are you German?
In this little town, Armin and his mama had a house that they had purchased a few years prior. But this wasn't any house, Rainey. This was a goddamn mansion.
Ooh, she got a bit of money.
It was a manor. It was huge, humongous. This place had 36 bedrooms.
Too big. No.
Too big.
Too big.
It was a 16,000 square foot manor that was rumoured to be built in the 17th century.
Wow.
And this place was a goddamn nightmare.
Oh, I'm just thinking about how many toilets there'd be to clean.
Before we begin to discover what is going on behind these doors, Rainey, I have to send you a photo and you have to paint a little picture for our listeners.
Oh, no problem.
This place is what nightmares are made of. Oh my God. The neighbourhood would refer to this house as the haunted house. And when I talk about the neighbourhood, Worcesterfield had 30 people living in this town.
Oh.
Everybody knew everyone's business.
They're probably banging each other too.
Everybody knew about the Worcesterfield manor.
Oh, Christ. This is not the kind of manor I was thinking of.
It looks like it's kind of melting into the ground a little bit.
It looks like it's falling apart. It's a long building, very wonky choices of the windows and how they're spaced out. It looks like it needs a bulldozer.
If you were to go to like a German beer garden and you had a pub that was this old school kind of Oktoberfest beer German vibes. It looks kind of like that, but it's huge. This place had 56 windows, rusty old rickety iron gates at the front. They had one of those lion head brass door knockers on the door. It was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
This place is creepy as hell.
It looks very cold, and I must say, there's obviously been a bit of foundation issues because it looks like it's sinking in some areas.
So in this manner, Armin and his mother would start to set up their lives. At this stage, Armin was a teenage boy, but he was descending into a pretty lonely state. His mom lacked affection. She wouldn't give her son hugs, kisses. She wasn't an affectionate mother at all, but she was super bossy, super controlling, and often neighbours would hear Voltrude yelling and screaming at her son.
Ooh. She sounds absolutely vulgar.
She should change her name.
Yes.
To vulgar. They would hear vulgar screaming things like,
Move that chair! Mow the lawn! Get me cake!
poor Armand.
I'm going to call him Armand, but it's Armin. I know. I just want to call him an Armand.
And Voltrude was obsessed with medieval times. She would make Armin and herself dress up in medieval costumes.
Oh.
They would role play and pretend they were living in a castle. The 36 bedrooms were all named with these regal medieval names, and they would spend their time decorating each one, giving them their own personality and their own theme.
That's so weird. Lolly said it was a mansion or a manor. This ain't no mansion. This is like...
It looks like something out of an Alfred Hitchcock film.
Who's that?
Who cares? Armin was heading down a very slippery slope, loves. He was isolated. He was lonely. He became withdrawn. He would dive headfirst into books, dark and twisted books. He especially loved the book Hansel and Gretel, mainly because this book was actually centered around a wooded area not far from his house. So he would read this book over and over again, and he loved it. He would fantasize about pushing his mum down the stairs just to end it all.
Fair enough.
His mind became a very lonely and dark, desperate place. He became incredibly obsessed with the TV series Flipper. Do you remember Flipper? It was an American show with the dolphin that became the pet dolphin.
Yes, Flipper.
Yes, he loved Flipper. He would watch this show over and over and over again, but he didn't watch it for the dolphin.
Oh.
He watched it because he really loved the young son in the TV show. Very fit, handsome, young blonde boy. And he would just obsess over this boy, and he really wanted to almost become this boy, integrate himself.
Oh, was he gay?
Well, funny you mention that, Loves, because he eventually would go on to invent himself an imaginary brother. This imaginary brother had the name of Frankie, and he would explore his sexual fantasies with his imaginary brother. I don't know how.
I mean, I found it hard enough to pretend to play outside with a ball with my imaginary friend.
But now you're sucking Frankie's dick? I mean, what's happening here? You know? Armin, you need help.
Come here, Frankie. Harder.
But Rainey, it gets worse. He would do all kinds of weird, strange behaviour. He even at some point would lie in bed and cover himself in tomato sauce and imagine it was blood. And he would play with Barbie dolls and rip their limbs off. The behaviour was very strange. What made it even more strange, Rainey, is that he wouldn't just cover himself in tomato sauce. I'm sorry. Armin would chop up little pieces of pork, take them to his bedroom. He would lie in his bed and he would cover himself in tomato sauce. And he would put the little pork pieces in the tomato sauce and he would start eating them. And he was just pretending he was eating human flesh.
Oh, Christ.
Because Armin was realising, Rainey, that he was a cannibal.
Well, I mean, look, pork is probably relatively close to human flesh, so good comparison. But the tomato sauce, I'm not really sure. Is it blood or is this for flavour?
Bit of both. He was really beginning to fantasize about eating other people.
Oh.
It began with the Hansel and Gretel books. When it got to the section in the book where the witch was going to fatten up Hansel and put Hansel in the oven, my word, did this excite Armin. He would feel his heartbeat increasing, this fluttering butterfly sensation in his tummy, and he was just like,
Do it, eat the child.
Oh my God.
oh, he was all for it. He would go to school and he would imagine eating his friends.
Oh no.
When he would go to the supermarket, he would see the prepackaged meat and he would just think,
Wouldn't it be great if it wasn't steak or chicken, if it was human flesh?
Yum.
And on the labels, instead of saying chicken thigh or rump steak, it said Brian. He was a lovely guy, loved the outdoors, 6 foot, athletic.
Muscly.
And you could choose the personality behind your meat.
Is that what he wanted? Is that what he wanted?
he wanted to eat people, loves. He just was desperate for it. But in all seriousness, Armin was just so lonely that he thought if he could eat another person, it would take away his loneliness forever and he could consume another being and then two would become one.
That sounds legit.
It does sound legit. And he really would fantasize us about that little boy on that TV show.
Oh.
He wanted to eat that boy so bad.
Oh my God.
But Armin would suppress these feelings, push them deep down
Thank Christ.
into the hip region because that's where we store a lot of emotions, and he would just get on with his life. He would eventually join the military and he would spend 12 years in the army. He would leave that creepy manor. He would leave his overbearing, controlling mother behind and try and get on with a normal life. But because he was holding a lot of cannibal urges in the hip flexors, it came out in other ways where he would try and numb the pain with alcohol. Okay, guys, if you're going to start suppressing your feelings,
Just drink.
you're going to turn to drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
He began to drink a lot. He would get done drink driving a few times and ultimately he would be kicked out of the military
Oh.
and he would have to go back to that creepy manor and live with his mother.
Horrible mother.
And at this stage, we are in the 1990s.
Imagine that. Just, I really feel like eating Brian. He's got a yummy old thigh over there.
Oh, yeah, give me a taste of that buttocks.
I want to eat your toes.
Armin had a few attempts at relationships with women, but didn't really work out. He even had a few sexual experiences with men.
Oh,
And he realised that,
You know what? I think I'm bisexual.
fair enough.
but he couldn't really meet a serious partner to settle down. He would begin working with computers or in IT. He was just living at home, looking after his mum, just living a very normal life. Until 1999, when Voltrude, aka Volga, would pass away.
Oh, yay.
Fucking hell.
Probably not really a sad day if she's that awful.
Well, she was pretty awful.
More of a day of celebration.
Maybe she did calm down in her older age, but look, Armin was free. Free from the military, free from his mother's grip. And now he could go down a very dark path and explore his urges without having to hide it from anyone. And you best believe he turned to the internet, Rainey.
Oh, early days of the internet.
Mm-hmm. So Armin used to obsess over comic books, Walt Disney, Star Trek. But now the worldwide dark web was waiting for him. And this is where he would discover that he was not alone.
Oh,
Armin wasn't the only one with these cannibalistic urges.
sickos. There's a lot of sickos out there.
He would discover some pretty dark and twisted, fucked up corners of the web. He would discover violent pornography, torture pornography. He would explore the serial killers like Jeffrey Dahmer, also a human eater.
Yummy.
And then he would stumble across the ultimate holy grail for cannibals. The Cannibal Cafe! And this takes me to go back to the crime!
Wow. Take me there.
The Cannibal Cafe is a hunting ground for cannibals. It's an act of consuming your own species. Human flesh has a pork or veal-like flavour. Oh, and apparently if you slow roast it, Rainey, it has a lovely, delightful aroma.
Yummy.
The thigh and the buttocks are the most calorie dense, and on average, a human male has around 125,000 calories in his body.
Wow. 125,000.
There's a lot, isn't it? Eating human tissue can cause brain degeneration disorders, and this is pretty serious and life-threatening, and it can involve having hallucinations and uncontrollable laughter before death. But look, if you think making you fat, crazy, and giving you brain damage wasn't enough to deter people from eating human flesh, think again, bitch. Because there is on average around 1 million online users who harbour cannibalistic fantasies, especially erotic cannibalistic fantasies.
I'm going to eat your penis.
These sick fucks are sexually motivated and aroused at the thought of eating human flesh or being eaten themselves.
Oh.
They're motivated by the ultimate control and dominance over another person, and by consuming them, it's a symbol of possession, intimacy, and ultimately, it's when two becomes one.
So hang on. Can you actually die from eating human meat?
Apparently, you can actually get this brain degeneration disorder and it can kill you. And what I did learn while deep diving into the world of cannibalism, we obviously used to eat people back in the day, certain areas of the world, especially Papua New Guinea, because in their DNA makeup, they have the specific gene that fights against this brain degeneration disorder, because obviously they used to eat people back in the day, and then as their bodies evolved,
Yes.
you sick fucks.
Ew.
The internet is just crawling with cannibals, loves. It's pretty fucking creepy.
Oh my God. No, it's so gross.
It is so gross. But look, a lot of people aren't actually wanting to go through with it. They are just role-playing, just fantasizing, and get off on, I guess, dirty talk around eating each other's body.
Just go buy a pork loin.
Armin did try and fight the urges for a long time. Growing up, he used to get luncheon meat, or here they call it Devon, and he would mould the meat into little human body parts and eat it.
Fingers.
And just imagine he was eating a nice thigh or
Oh my gosh. Hang on a minute. Is that the one you get that looks like dog roll?
Yeah, the luncheon meat. Just molded into body parts and eat it.
Oh, that's so wrong.
But it really scratched the itch, loves. That itch kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
No.
Armin couldn't believe his luck, Rainey. He realised he wasn't alone. There were so many people out there. And what even blew his mind more is that these people didn't just want to eat another human. There were people that wanted to be eaten. There were people literally serving themselves up on a silver platter to feast on. He was like,
Oh, fuck yeah. It's my time, baby.
Oh my God.
and so he deep dived into the online world of cannibalism.
Probably made him feel like it's a bit more normal. Like, I don't actually have an issue because there's a whole community of us.
That's right. He was accepted, loves. And he began chatting with other users, a little online chit chat like,
You want me to eat your penis?
and
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for you to bite my buttocks.
and they would take this out into the real world and they would meet up. So Armin would meet up with other users on these pages. But it was all just a little bit of role play, a little bit of foreplay, some sexual interactions. They wouldn't really
Eat each other.
take it to the next level. But Armin really, deep down, he just was so hungry. Wanted to eat.
Do you think that,
Wanted to eat some human flesh.
do you think they'll just kind of bite on each other and be like, hey, but they just wouldn't bite down hard enough?
We will get into some detail later, but I do know that he would meet up with some people and they would mark out the body as you would like a pig or a cow.
Like going to a steakhouse
Be like rump,
and they've got like the ribeye.
ribeye, rack, beef cheek,
Yeah.
I guess that would just get them all worked up and excited. Woohoo, where's the gravy, Armin thought
Well, you know what? It's enough of this playing around.
he was ready to meet his meat.
He was ready to meet his mate.
So he put an ad out there, and this time he was serious, and he was wanting to meet someone that wanted to be eaten.
Okay.
It was early 2001, and Rainey, he would finally get the reply that he was waiting for. Ding, ding.
I offer myself to you.
No.
Goose and tug.
I offer myself to you, and will let you dine from my live body. Not butcher, dine. Whoever really wants to do it will need a real victim.
And this was signed off by
Burned Brandes.
Burned was a troubled man, clearly.
Oh, yes, pick me. Pick me.
Burned was in his early 40s. He was a gay man living with his boyfriend in Berlin at the time. But growing up, he had a very troubled childhood. His mother committed suicide when he was just 5 years old.
That's terrible.
Terribly sad. And when his dad realised he was gay, he completely disowned him and kicked him to the curb. He would work in the computer sector, IT world, similar to Armin. And look, he had a very boring life. Quiet, uneventful. He lived with his partner in Berlin. Some people thought it was his roommate, so he obviously wasn't openly gay to the community around him. But underneath the bland, boring disguise was a flavour of fucked up that we just don't understand. Burned wanted to be eaten for as long as he could remember.
Oh my God, like, why?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. Is this because I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know why. I know why Armin wants to eat people because he's sexually motivated by it, but he's also lonely, so he wants to consume another person and have someone inside him forever. But Byrne just wanted to be eaten.
Did he want to be eaten whole or just like a calf muscle?
All of it.
His whole body.
He wanted the whole vessel to be consumed.
It's a lot of calories.
But look, these two, they were a match made in heaven. Armin would draft a willingness consent contract just to dot his I's and cross his T's. And they would both sign the contract and they would set a date for March 9th, 2001. Burned was coming to be dinner.
Oh my God, I cannot believe this.
So Armin would prepare a room. He would call it the slaughter room. The 36-year-old manor would have a room on the top floor, and back in the day, this room was used to smoke meat.
Oh,
So it was perfect. It was a little discoloured. It was a bit stinky in there, so this was going to be the room that Armin would have his tasty feast of burned.
that room would have smelled like meat. He probably just goes in and has a good old wank.
Probably. Pork.
Yeah.
So Armin would prepare the slaughter room. He would put some tables in there, a bed. He would hang some meat hooks from the ceiling.
Oh,
He would supply buckets and drainage. He was ready to go.
no.
Burned was also making his own preparations back in Berlin.
Was he excited?
Very excited. He left his home, told his boyfriend he was going on a work trip. He wiped his computer of any trace of communication with Armin. He sold his car. He made a will and he bought a train ticket in cash. And he would get on that train and head to his demise.
It's just a different form of suicide, really, isn't it?
What is really?
You know, it's not like you're putting a note out saying, I'm ready to be murdered.
What a way to go. And it makes you wonder, like, what other sick, weird things do people want to be doing out there? I think this is as sick as it comes.
It's pretty bad, yeah. I don't see what could be worse.
I don't know. And we're going to get into the details. So, friends, if you're eating breakfast, put it down. If you have small children around, what are you doing?
Turn it off.
Let's buckle on in. So, Burned would get on that train. This is the best day of his life. He would arrive in a town called Rottenburg.
It's certainly rotten.
This is a couple of hours away from Worcesterfield, where that beautiful manor was sitting there waiting. He hopped off the train and saw an eager Armin standing, waiting for his arrival.
Was he licking his chops?
Trying to hide his boner. These two would embrace, and Burned would say,
I am your flesh. I hope you'll find me tasty.
They then would hop in the car and head to the manor. Burned was beyond excited. He couldn't keep his hands to himself. He was trying to be all touchy-feely with Armin, but Armin's like,
Come on, man, just chill out. We're just on the road. Let's just take things slow, shall we?
Oh my God, he was gagging for it.
but Burned was ready to get down to Chowtown. They would arrive at the manor, and this manor didn't deter him. He was ready. He stepped foot inside this manor. Burned would disappear for a while, and he would reappear completely naked. And he would say to Armin,
I want you to admire your meal.
Did he have a couple of grapes and some lettuce leaves hanging off him?
he's just covering himself with salt and pepper.
Bit of tomato sauce?
A little truffle olive oil rub down. Bernd was ready. He wanted to get straight to the slaughter room. And Armin's like,
Dude, just chill out.
like he wanted to really get to know his meal. He wanted to spend a couple of days just marinating in each other's essence and just prolonging it. This was the moment he'd been waiting for his whole life.
But he's hit the jackpot. He's so lucky.
And Bernd was like,
I want you to bite my penis.
and Armin's like,
Brother, ooh.
Brother, ugh.
Chill out, man.
but Armin realizes,
Well, we could better do this because the opportunity is going to be missed.
Yep.
how often are you going to be presented with just a naked man demanding you bite his penis off?
Did he actually say that?
Well, yes, he did. That's was his demand. His first point of call was the cock. So they would head up to the slaughter room, and Armin was trying to bite off the penis.
Oh my God. Hang on. So he didn't kill him first. He just was going to eat him while he was still alive.
Oh no, he wanted to be eaten alive, Rainey.
Oh my God. No.
Armin he couldn't get through the penis. Maybe it was too hard. I don't really know.
Quite muscly, isn't it?
And Bernd was pissed, loves.
Oh,
So he was like,
Oh, you're too much of a pussy,
but he's
mate.
probably got a raging heart on, and it's probably like, it's fucking rock hard.
but Bernd was realizing very quickly that, you know what, Armin, he doesn't have what it takes. So he's like,
Fuck this. You can take me back to the train station because you haven't got what it takes, mate. It's time to go.
he's Australian now. And Armin, he wasn't a psycho, loves.
No,
Believe it or not. He wasn't a violent type. This was all a bit too violent for him.
fair enough.
It was a bit too much. So Armin was going to respect his wishes, and they got back in the car and they would make the 2-hour journey back to the train station. It was awkward. It was silent. Bernd probably had a few bite marks in the penis.
How to explain that to the partner?
How do you explain that?
Couple of holes in the pee-pee?
He got back to the train station, loves, and Bernd quickly realised that
Oh, fuck. I've got a bit of a shitstorm back in Berlin, don't I?
Yes.
he sold his car, he left his will, he's ditched his flatmate/boyfriend, he's quit his job. So he realises,
You know what? This pussy's just going to have to be the one.
No going back now. It's too late, motherfucker.
that's right. They decide,
Look, let's just go back and we'll get it done tonight, okay? Let's just do it.
Oh my God, this is wild.
just you wait. They get back in the car and they'd make the 2-hour journey back again to the manor. On the drive, they would stop this time at a pharmacy. They would buy a bottle of cough syrup and a packet of sleeping pills. And on the drive, Bernd would down the lot.
What? Why? I thought he wanted to be awake for this.
Well, I guess he wanted to just be semi-awake. He's not as fucked up as we thought, loves. So they would head back and arrive at the manor once again. They would head up to the slaughter room. Now, at some point, Rainey, these two would have some sexual intercourse. I don't know who put what where, but they did it. And then Rainey, now it was dinner time.
Yummy.
Yummy! Bernd was drowsy and he was ready for a good old butchering.
As you do.
He would lay on the table and Armin would retrieve his butcher's knife.
Has he been learning how to slice and dice? Or is he just going in blind?
Don't quote me on this. I have a feeling that Armin used to work in a slaughterhouse with animals.
Wouldn't be surprised.
He's ready. He's been preparing this for a long time.
He knows what he's doing.
It's time to get carving.
Ugh.
Armin took that butcher knife and began to dismember Bernd's member.
Oh my God.
Bernd would scream in pain as Armin began slicing. But Rainey, they would encounter some roadblocks because the knife wasn't quite sharp enough to get through Bernd's penis. I mean, dude, you've been planning this for years.
How thick is his penis?
Must be pretty girthy, loves.
I mean, now it's like half severed off.
Yeah, he couldn't get through the whole thing. I wonder if it was hard when he started. But then apparently, because I was talking to Mark about this, if it was hard, when he cut through the vein, the blood would have, splurted out and then it would have come soft again.
Oh.
So Armin said,
Hang on, mate. I'll be right back.
and he goes downstairs and he gets another knife and he comes back up and Bernd is... and he finishes the job. Now at this point, loves, it's a full-blown fountain. There is blood splurting everywhere, just like
Like literally.
Just like at the bloody Bellagio in Vegas. It is a goddamn fountain show. Bernd is all of a sudden overwhelmed with joy. Overcome. The excitement's back.
No.
He can't feel the pain. And he wants to have a bite of his penis.
Of his own penis.
Give it to me!
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, his own penis.
Oh my God. No, he doesn't.
Yes.
Is this even real?
Rainey, this is real. So Bernd would try to bite off a part of his cock. But it's a bit gristly. Armin was having a go too.
Oh, they're not cut out for eating themselves.
They're covered in blood. They're both trying to gnaw away at the knob and they can't get through it.
Oh my God, they need to slow cook it.
So Armin's like,
I know. Hold tight. I'm just going to head down and do a little... I'll cook it up. Or I'll be right back.
Oh my God, maybe a little sashimi, slice it off.
so he heads downstairs with Bernd's penis and he would proceed to broil it. I believe broiling it is putting it in the oven and like the grill.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Before when they had sexual intercourse, who was the postman and who was the taker? Because if that penis is tasting like shit, well, that's a shame.
That's what I was like. You can't be eating a penis that's been in your own butthole, can you?
Mind you, they probably give each other blowies all the time.
Everyone likes the smell of their own brand. Anyway, so he's gone down. He's doing a little sauteing, a little broiling. He would season it with salt, pepper, and a little garlic powder.
Yum.
Rainy, he would garnish it with some tomatoes. I mean, garnish with tomatoes. Come on, man. Put a little bit like basil or maybe a little broccolini on the side, a little feta cheese. Tomatoes?
That's all I had in the cupboard.
Yep. So he would take that broiled, sauteed, freshly cooked penis with a side of tomatoes, perfectly seasoned, back up to the slaughter room. And these two would try to chow down again.
Oh my God.
But this time, it was as hard as a goddamn rock.
No way. I should have Googled this shit.
Cook it medium rare. What's wrong with you?
Now he's got no fucking penis left.
I know, so they have to discard this in the waste bin and they couldn't eat it.
Lucky for him, he could turn into a lady.
He could.
It's 2001. People are talking about it. No, they aren't back then. They're not back then.
No, they're not. No.
No, and you need the whole penis to flip it inside out. Sorry, carry on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Story time. No.
Oh.
Rainy used to be my brother. This is Shane.
Yeah, g'day.
Laurel and Shane.
Oh, we're going to get cancelled.
So Armin wasn't a murderer. So he wasn't going to put Bernd out of his misery. He was going to leave him to bleed out and he would go head to his room and read a book.
Oh,
And Bernd was fine with this.
really?
So he would head to his room, read a book, and Bernd would just lie there on the slaughter bed and slowly bleed out. And remember at this stage, Rainey, he's had a whole bottle of cough syrup, a whole pack of sleeping pills. His penis has been cut off. He's having an immense amount of blood loss, but he's still just hanging in there. He's starting to feel a little cold.
Armin, I'm a bit cold, mate. Can you take me to the bath?
Oh,
So Armand would come and scoop up Bernd's body, run him a hot bath, and put him inside the bath and let him continue to bleed out.
oh,
Armand would head back to his room, really get stuck into a little Star Trek book.
oh, that's nice.
A couple of hours would pass.
Fucking hell.
I guess Armand's thinking Bernd's meat is going to be nice and soft and tender.
He's slow cooking him.
He comes back a couple of hours later and Bernd is still alive. Like, what is happening here?
And now he's freezing because he's sitting in a cold bath.
He's pruned up to buggery. He's freezing cold.
No.
Armin would scoop him up out of the bath and take him back to the slaughter room and continue to just leave him there to bleed out.
I don't think he's bleeding out. All capillaries have closed. The blood is clotting. He's fine.
That's right. And now he is back in his room reading. Time is passing. We're approaching between 3 and 4 in the morning.
It's too long.
It's too long. And now Armin hears a bit of commotion. He heads back to the slaughter room and he's shocked because Bernd has got up, but he's collapsed to the ground.
Oh,
Armin's like,
Mate, what's happening? What are you doing? What are you trying to do?
and Bernd is saying,
I need to go toilet.
where from? How do you do it?
for starters, just pee there, mate, because you're in a pool of blood and it doesn't matter at this point.
Oh, fuck.
But he's insistent. No. He would like to go to the toilet.
Oh, my God. Where does it come from? His penis is gone.
It would just drip out, wouldn't it? I don't know, loves. I'm feeling sick. So he says, no, but then he just full blown like passes out.
What one, Armin or the other guy?
Burned. Armin's like,
This has just been going on for long enough.
so he's like,
Right, it's time to put him out of his misery.
Oh dear.
he's not really sure. Is he breathing? Is he dead? He doesn't really know, but he's thinking,
I think it's time to get butchering.
This is like torture for poor Bernd.
I know, Bern loves it though. He's keen. Because I do believe throughout the event, Armin has asked Bernd,
Do you want me to put you out of your
and
misery?
he said no. And he's also told Armin,
This is what I want. Don't feel bad.
oh, a tasty snack.
Oh my God.
He would put Bernd on the table.
This is so horrific.
He would take one of his knives and just slowly push it into the throat, just into his neck. And this would finish the job. I'm sorry, this is what he wanted. This is what he wanted. Okay, don't feel bad.
No,
This is what he wanted, guys. You can't feel bad.
no, it's his choice.
This is actually better than our usual stories because this person wanted to go. He wanted to be a meal.
This is a real sick form of suicide.
Armin would hang Bernd on a meat hook, drain him of his fluids.
Oh my God.
He would then remove the human crackling.
Oh my God, the skin.
He would remove the skin and he would begin to carve his dinner. He would make all kinds of delightful cuts of meat. Rump steak, bit of shoulder, bit of bicep, the ribs.
Did he eat the organs?
Oh yeah, you gotta use all of it, loves.
Did he make a little pate with the kidneys?
He would even ground the bones and make flour. He would cut off the head, the arms, the feet.
Oh, what did you do with the head?
Well, we'll get to that. And then he would package up Bern's cuts of meat in lovely little packages and he would store them in the chest freezer that he had in the manor. He'd made a fake bottom so all of Bern's offcuts, delicious cuts of meat, were stored hidden away in the freezer.
Bernd would be so proud.
Oh, this is exactly that's what they both wanted. They're living their dream.
Yeah.
Now, Rainey, this was on a Saturday and now Sunday rolls around. And you know what happens on Sunday?
Sunday fun day, baby. Sorry.
A lovely Sunday roast.
Yes.
And you know that Armin is going to go all out. Armin would dress the table in its best tablecloth. He would put out his finest china.
Delightful.
Maybe a little dinner jazz. Hit it, Furzy. He would put out a candelabra loaded up with candles. He would put on a suit and tie, wearing his best, and he was getting ready to have the meal of a lifetime.
Just for him, or did he invite guests over?
Just for him.
Oh, thank God.
He would cook up some Brussels sprouts,
No.
a little gravy. He poured a lovely glass of red, and he cooked up the most delightful piece of Bernd he could find. I'm probably thinking like a Scotch fillet or maybe,
I fillet.
tomahawk.
Tomahawk steak.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
Whatever the tastiest cut of meat was, he cooked it up to perfection. Probably a little medium rare.
Oh.
He would sit down at the table and he would get ready to eat. Before he tuck it on in, he said a little prayer to God, thanking God for his meal, for bringing Bernd to his doorstep, apologising for his sick and twisted ways, and also putting it out there that he will never be lonely again.
He's now one with Bernd.
He slices into that delicious piece of steak and he puts that piece of a human into his mouth. And a wave of euphoria would wash over him. This was delicious. He would then turn to his right and say,
This is the best food I've ever eaten.
No.
and Rainey, he wasn't saying this to no one. He was saying this to Bern's head. I kid you not, Bernd is joining him in this delicious feast. Bern's severed head is there on the table,
It's only fair.
just staring at him.
He needs to be part of it. You'd be pretty gutted if you went through all of that and you'd be like, ugh, this is disgusting.
Disgusting. I know, you would be. Ugh, what was I thinking?
Like, fuck's sakes.
But no, this was absolutely delightful. This was the best piece of meat he'd ever tasted. It was exactly what he was hoping for. And Armin would go on to bury Bern's head, his arms and legs and feet in the garden. And over the next 10 months, he would enjoy 20 kilos of Bern's meat. And he did get a total haul of about 27 kilos of meat. So he's really getting through it.
Holy. Was he quite a big man?
Yeah, I think he was a big man.
You wouldn't be skinny, would you?
And he really treated it like a ritual, a ceremony. He really put the intention in every time he ate burned. And he would even make little rissoles and take them to work and have them for his lunch. And everyone was none the wiser.
Dan likes a good rissole, you know?
Does he like a little bit of human butt cheek?
No.
You'd hope this would be the end of the story, Rainey.
Oh.
But Armin, after almost a year, was getting the itch again.
Once you've got the taste, how do you go back?
He was running low on burnt. The human flesh was getting smaller and smaller in his freezer, and it was time for a top-up.
Oh, no.
So he would turn to the internet once again. But he got a little cocky this time, Rainey.
Oh, been there, done that.
This wasn't his first rodeo, you see. And he would put out in these forums, these ads, he would refer to himself as the master butcher. He'd also put up some photos of proof that this wasn't his first rodeo.
Photos?
He put up a smiling photo of himself with Burns' headless body in the background.
Oh, my God.
He would put up pictures of Burns' limbs, his arms and his legs.
Oh.
He would have several people apply to his ad, but time wasters, once again. He would meet up with these people. He met up with some freak show that loved to be chloroformed, you know, when you like put the...
Oh, yeah.
And he would just love people to just do whatever when he was out. That was the thrill of it for him.
The unknown.
And so Byrne would bite into his butt and his thigh, but because there was no consent to it, he couldn't go through with it. He met someone else that wanted to be put on meat hooks, so hung him upside down on meat hooks.
Oh, ouch.
Labeling out his body.
No.
The butt cheek and the ribeye, but then he would panic and didn't want to go through with it.
Fair enough.
So he was just waiting for the next perfect contestant.
The perfect meal.
And one day, a medical student who was on the internet looking for some cheap thrills stumbled across Armin's post. I mean, you're a sick fuck too, mate. I don't know how you're finding these posts, but you weren't just looking for cheap thrills.
No.
But he came across this post and it was definitely a little too much. He was shocked.
Wow, fair.
So he decided he was going to the police. And it took a while. The police didn't really take it seriously. They thought it was just a bit of a joke, just some dark, twisted person, but it wasn't real. But the police did their own investigation, a little undercover operation. They would find the ad and they would respond. And they would go down the path of pretending that they were ready to be eaten.
Wow.
Armin gave the address for the manor and the investigators would descend on this property with a search warrant.
Great.
In 2002, they would come a-knocking. Armin was shocked. He couldn't believe it. He thought he was invincible. But also, Byrne wanted to be eaten, so what's the problem?
It's not his fault.
He didn't say anything, but he did welcome them in, and these guys were like,
Fucking hell, this place is huge. It's an absolute bomb site.
Awful.
But one of the female officers, she knew exactly where to go. She headed straight for that chest freezer. And she would open up the chest freezer and quickly realise that there was a false bottom.
Amateur.
And when she would remove the false bottom, she found packs of meat. And this was a very odd-looking meat. She'd never seen this kind of meat before. She asked Armin what it was, and he simply responded,
It's wild pig meat.
Yeah.
So they would send this off for testing, and Armin would lawyer up. But Armin wasn't there to keep any secrets. He told his lawyer exactly what happened. He showed all of the email responses, the contract. He didn't really see that this was any problem.
Could you imagine being that lawyer? You'd be like, okay, I think we can get you off here, son.
Well, is it murder? What is this? They thought maybe manslaughter. Armin's thinking, well, maybe it's assisted suicide.
Yeah.
So the police are investigating. They've got their search warrant. They are searching this property from top to bottom. It takes quite some time. They would dig up the garden and find Byrne's head, his arms, his legs, his feet.
How long after is this from when it happened?
We're about 18 months later at this point. When they are going through the house, they would uncover some videotapes, Rainey.
Uh-oh.
It turns out Armin had filmed the whole thing.
No, he didn't.
Start to finish. Top to bottom. Penis to butthole.
Oh my God, I bet you he watched that back so many times.
He did. And when he would watch it back, he would masturbate.
Yeah. With some tomato sauce. He wanted it. Oh, could you imagine watching those cops watching that? They would just be like, nah.
Well, the investigators couldn't actually get through it all, and they did need to have some counselling and therapy because it was so graphic and the most fucked up thing they'd ever seen. But there's pretty good evidence. It's going to trial, and Armin pleads not guilty. Absolutely not. He's got the contracts. This was completely willing volunteer. And this trial did base a lot around consent. There was consent. But is it okay to end somebody's life? The trial would begin in 2004. So this is almost 3 years after the initial killing. And look, this was fucked. There was a bit of a media frenzy. This was something that had never been witnessed before.
No.
The videotape, the consent, someone wanting to eat a human wanting to be eaten. So there was a lot of fascination around this case. And ultimately, the jury would find Armin guilty of manslaughter.
It's interesting.
Armin would be sentenced to 8 years in prison, and he would be serving a minimum term of 4.5 years.
It's not long.
It's not long, but Armin was not having it. He was pissed, loves.
Well, fair enough.
How can he go to prison for something that was completely willing and volunteered by Bernd? He wanted to be eaten.
Yes.
And Armin wanted to eat. What's the problem?
He was hungry.
Rainey, he wasn't the only one that wanted to appeal. The prosecution was completely dumbfounded at this sentencing. They thought it was not enough.
Wow.
So they would go back to the drawing board, and there would be an appeal, and a retrial would take place in 2006. Now, for this retrial, the prosecution had some more evidence. And now that videotape that I told you about filmed everything. It filmed everything from the penis severing to the trying to eat the penis, to coming back and forward to the bathroom, the bleeding out. And it also filmed the knife going into the neck. Upon closer examination, they could still see that Bernd was alive. They could see that he was breathing. So now the prosecution is saying this is, in fact, murder. And Bernd didn't consent to being murdered. He wanted to be eaten. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know how you do one without the other, but that's fine.
Tomato, tomato.
The jury would go to deliberate for a second time, a new jury, and this time, Rainey, they would find Armin guilty of murder.
Ooh.
And he would be sentenced to life in prison.
That's unfortunate for him. The 4 years sounded way better.
And I don't even know how I feel about this. We'll get into this a little bit later, but I just think, well, they both wanted to do it. So is it murder? Life in prison?
Yeah.
He was eligible for parole in 2017, and he was denied parole.
Oh.
Again, he came up for parole in 2020, and once again, he was denied. Now, this is very strange. Apparently, he's a model inmate. He is very helpful with other inmates and their education. He works in the laundry room, and he's just a really top-notch guy, loves.
It might be because he is saying that he doesn't see anything wrong with what he did.
Well, that's right, and maybe he's going to get out and do it again. So in prison, he is allowed to have supervised excursions where he can go out into the town. I don't even understand how that's allowed.
Weird.
We saw that in the Kelly Lane case. But Rainey, while he's been in prison since 2006, he has also become a vegetarian.
What?
I'm not making this up. He's a vegetarian, loves.
What?
He goes to church and he works in the laundry room.
He must have to help him not sin anymore and have these horrible thoughts.
Let's say if you're a ex-heroin addict or cocaine addict, alcohol's probably the thing you're going to need to give up because it's a bit of a gateway back to the goods. So same with maybe a bit of T-bone steak. Might lead you straight back to the human butt.
You might just have dirty thoughts about carrots now, you know.
Go for it. So, Rainey, that brings me to the good old famous question. Can you handle this cannibal crime and scandal?
I reckon I can.
Ruthless Rainey. Oh my God, Mark and I joked about this.
I can.
Yeah, why not?
I actually can. Look, I think that whole cutting the penis off and he's like, ah! It's very squeamish and horrible, but the dude wanted it.
He wanted it. As sick and twisted as it is, it's not as bad as our other ones because this is completely consented to.
Like if a guy went there on a date and this guy did all that, then I'd be like, no, I can't. I mean, the whole thought of it's disgusting, and the tomato sauce and the bits of pork, and he's like the way he's growing up, and he's a sick and twisted man. But I don't know. I feel like I can handle this crime and scandal.
Oh my God, you're sick. Rainy's hungry for a bit of human flesh.
I mean, it's pretty gross, but each to their own.
Each their own.
Lolly, can you handle this crime and scandal?
Well, I am not ruthless, Rainey. I cannot handle this crime and scandal. I just want to break it down. This is the most fucked up thing I've ever heard. The bolshy mum dressing up in medieval clothes, living in this creepy, scary manor. Oh, I forgot to add, after his mum died, he used to dress in his mum's clothes and pretend to be her to keep her spirit alive.
This guy's just sick, man.
This is something out of like a horror film.
Yeah.
The fantasizing about eating human flesh, like the tomato sauce and the pork, and
Sick.
the online space that's just crawling with these freakoids. I just feel a bit scary about what people are capable of. Who are you working with? Who are you driving next to?
Yeah.
There are so many sick fucks out in this world, but they did want to do it, so it's not really that bad. I just didn't need to hear about it, and I didn't need to tell the story.
Look, it's a fascinating story, but yeah, it gives you the heebie-jeebies, like, ugh.
I was eating a burrito, listening to a podcast about this, and I had to turn it off because I physically felt ill. I just couldn't eat and listen to it's so fucked up. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was an interesting story, pretty grotesque, pretty gruesome, but
He wanted it.
consent. They wanted it. They both got what they wanted. And, you know, if you're going to go out and eat somebody, just don't get cocky about it. One person is enough in this lifetime, all right? One and done. Can you just leave it at that?
That's the thing, but maybe he wouldn't ever have got caught if he didn't do that.
He wouldn't have. There you go, Furzy.
So interesting.
Wild.
I mean, I wouldn't have started with the penis. I would have started with the back of the thigh or the bum.
I reckon the ear. Go the ear, and then we'll work our way down from there.
What about the weenus?
The elbow. The weenus.
That's really numb.
I was going to say the weenus. Yeah, just go straight for the weenus.
Can't feel that.
That's the elbow skin if you guys don't know what a weenus is.
The old weenus.
All right, team. Well, look, keep your weenuses safe, and we will see you next week for another episode, and it won't be as gruesome as this. Oh, I've got a very interesting case next week.
Ooh,
I've got one. I'm going to jump in front of Rainey because it's an anniversary case of something that happened quite recent. Very sad. Anyway, team, come join us at Can't Handle the Crime and Scandal on Instagram, and we love ya. We will see you soon. Take it easy, and
Yes.
have a lovely dinner.
Enjoy that barbecue, guys.
Whoop, whoop. All right, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Ooh, ah.
Maybe you shouldn't have gone out with old
Voltrude.
Cougar Town in the first town, you know?
That's right. In the first town.
In the first time. First time. Oh, Christ.
Sorry, that was too much. Let me just make that a bit more attractive. He would stumble across the Cannibal Cafe, and that takes me to fun facts of the crime.
Fun facts of the crime. Facts of the crime.
Fun facts of the crime. Mark, you choose which one you want to put in there.
I know what one he's choosing.
Hang on, I've got a beer burp. Just a girly one. Okay. Mark, don't put that as a blooper, you dog. I can hear it now.